All right, what's going on, Matt? Matt from OKC. Yeah,
Oklahoma
it's
City.
beautiful weather. It's supposed to be in the 80s. It's supposed to touch close to 90 end of the month, March 1st. So it's not even April yet. It's about to touch 90 degrees.
You're in Tampa,
Lakeland.
Lakeland. Yeah, it's always hot in Lakeland. There's a great pool hall downtown Lakeland on top of a deli. At least there
Uh-huh.
was 35 years ago. That
Hmm.
was one of those where you rent the balls by the hour. But
Yeah.
it'd been there for so many years. There was pictures
Uh-huh.
of Willie Mosconi and Minnesota Fats playing when they were like 25 years old.
Oh, I have no idea who that is.
You don't know who that is? Well, see, now I'm
No.
showing my age. Did you ever, if you ever followed professional pool or watched the movie The Hustler, or
Mm,
I think it was Easy Money with Tom Cruise and Paul Newman, they
yeah.
were they were
Oh, all right.
being those
I
guys.
got it. Hold on one second. Gonna bring on Ash. Oh wait, hold on. Gonna bring on Ashley in a second. Um, but yeah, let's. I still can't believe the Bucks win the Super Bowl, and then I get a DM saying that Vince Jackson passed away. I'm like, no way, and I'm like, man, he really passed away at 38. I mean, that's young. Kobe was 41. Chadwick Boseman was 44. All these athletes and pro athletes, passing away. Late 30s, early 40s.
You heard
Just
about Tiger today, right?
yeah, yeah.
He,
I'm gonna bring on Ashley right now. Hold on one second. Um, hey, you're on. Yeah, we're just talking about Tiger Woods. Yeah, as I was watching the news, they said he slid off um over in Los Angeles, and
yeah, he
okay,
was on his way to meet Drew Brees and somebody else to do something. He's got a cable show that he's putting together,
yeah.
and they say he was running late, so he was speeding. And he was driving a Genesis, which is one of those
Yeah,
high end SUVs. He
yeah.
flipped
I,
it 3 or 4 times.
I thought it was
And
a Range Rover.
well, the sheriff came out and said it was a Genesis. So I don't know. Either way, it wasn't a cheap Ford, you
No.
know, Echo or whatever.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they said all his airbags deployed and saved his life because the cabin didn't crush, but he
Yeah.
broke both of his legs multiple times. I don't think
I'm
he's
not
going to play anymore.
I'm not a big golf fan, but I like Tiger Woods. It's one of the best athletes, with Jordan and LeBron James and all the great
Oh, that's the
athletes.
thing. He was somebody who transcended his sport. Everybody knows who he is. You may not know anything about golf, but even people didn't know anything about golf in his heyday would tune in on Sunday to watch him win. You
Yep.
might have been seven, but
All right.
it's
I'm
back in the
26.
huh?
I'm 26.
Yeah. So yeah, that's just a little bit. You were young, but when he first came out, if he was in a tournament, he won it before they even hit the first ball, and it
Okay.
was an incredible thing to see. But what they were bringing a equivalency to was Kobe died almost a year to today, so it was
Um,
almost a repeat, and
yeah.
they were kind of bringing that up. But he's going to be all right. He's not 50 years old, so
How old is he?
he's. I don't think he's 50 yet. I think he's in his
Okay.
early late 30s or early 40s. But you were saying that people are so young, like Vincent Jackson. The
Kobe, Chadwick
Kobe
Boseman.
was Kobe was retired, but he was a young retiree. I mean, my God, he played for 20 years and he started when he was 19 or 20 years old.
Yep.
So, um, it, something about those pro athletes and the lifestyle, they do things. They're kind of like rock stars, I guess.
Yeah.
But Vincent Jackson was a sad case. I don't know if you remember uh, Junior Seau.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
I
he
was
he
I
was
was
with the
talking about that.
Chargers most of
Yep.
his career,
Yep.
and then he went to New England to try to win a Super Bowl. He never got one.
Yeah.
He had that CTE,
CTE.
yeah, and he wrote a letter to his mother that he was committing suicide, and he shot himself in the heart on purpose so he could have an open casket.
Mm.
And Vincent Jackson, from what I've read and what I've understood, went to hide in Brandon.
Yeah.
You know about Brandon. I don't know what Brandon looks like today, but when I
Yeah.
left there, It was a bedroom community for Tampa employees, basically.
Uh-huh.
And it's grown a lot since the interstate came through. But when you're going to go rent a suite and you
Yeah.
got that kind of money, do you put
Yeah.
Brandon on the top of the list? I don't
Nope.
think so. I'd go
No.
to
All
Key
right.
West or something.
Actually, I was trying to add Ashley. Let's try to add her again. Hold on one second. All right, Ashley, can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry about that. It kicked me out for whatever reason.
Oh yeah, I'm still new to this. Yeah, we were just talking about Vince Jackson. All those athletes were. You said that they were both linked to CTE, but I heard it was he if it doesn't come out for another couple weeks, it might be an overdose or alcoholism it was a preliminary, but it turned out they're not going to have the full autopsy for weeks.
Yeah, it takes a month and a half before the toxicology court goes to Hillsborough County. My mother was a state detective there, so I kind of know what's going to happen next. But they're going to find out whether it was a mitigating circumstance or contributing circumstance to his death. He's going to have some signs of CTE, but they also say he was alcoholic. But the point I was getting at was that you don't go to Brandon to hang out. You go to Brandon to get away from people. And they had a missing persons report out on him. The cops came and found him there. And I think part of the reason they let him be fine was he's a celebrity. And all the money he's dumped into Tampa and MacDill Air Force Base and everything else that he did there, you don't want to take that guy in and not be 100% sure that he's a mental case. Because in Florida, you've got this thing called the Baker Act. And if they arrest you for anything that's mental illness oriented, they can hold you for 3 days in a hospital for observation and treatment. And a lot of homeless people get brought in that way. But in his case, you don't want to put him in the same category as a homeless guy. He's a multimillionaire, and he did an awful lot for the community. It's just sad. And
he's a nice guy. I met him at Arena football game. He's a really nice guy. He signed my friend's jersey. You don't have. I mean, pro athletes don't have to do that. He came up, where he could have, been watching film or practicing, and he came over and signed my hat. Same with Mike Evans. He's he'll sign with kids for 30 minutes after practice or something like that. He's just.
And that's a lost art because today's people that are on the high end, they tend to want to make their brand, and they're afraid that you're going to take that hat and put it on eBay tonight and make $200 off of it on something they did out of the goodness of their heart or whatever. Yeah. And people like Mike Evans and Vincent Jackson are the rare ones now that recognize that they're gifted something, and they've been given the opportunity to make a bunch of money. And they're young, and if they do what Gronk did and live off of the minimum of it and put the rest away, you never have to work again. Your kids won't have to work again, and probably your grandchildren. And you and I don't have that opportunity. It doesn't matter whether we want to or not. I don't have the skill set for it.
Unless we win the lottery, right?
Right. And back in the day when I was growing up, the players had this idea that they were a hero to a lot Kids. Leroy Selman came to my ninth grade class for career day, and he brought the long, big ass thing of shoulder pads he wore. He wore the largest shoulder pads in the NFL at the time, and those things they put them on me, and dude, I was swallowed up. It was bad. It was like Jonah and the whale.
Yeah.
But I'll never forget that day when Leroy Selman came and talked to me at school. And that's the kind of thing that a lot of kids miss out on nowadays.
I want to hear this. Leroy Selman, he was. I don't know. Remember when he passed away? But I'm only 26, so he was. I was young.
Yeah, he was the first draft pick that the Buccaneers ever had. Obviously, he was the first Buccaneer to ever go in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, he was the first Buccaneer to go into the Ring of Honor. And then he went around and started University of South Florida's football school, but football athletic department. And he ran one of the banks downtown. I forget which one it was. So he was always involved in the community where he came into and made his living. And he always gave things back to it. It goes back to like Vincent Jackson and Mike Evans. They give back, and people don't forget that. and you don't see that as much today, in my opinion, as you should, for whatever sport. It doesn't matter. When the Reds were in spring training there in Plant City, we used to go see them play every spring for like $3 at the gate. And you could stand out there, and Johnny Bench would sign a baseball, and Dave Concepcion, and all the guys from the Big Red Machine, which is well before your time. But that was their thing. Nowadays, you can't get that. I went to several games living in Phoenix and tried to get autographs from the players during batting practice. They'd give it to a handful because they're obligated to, but once they did like 4 or 5, they'd walk away. People like Mike Evans, from what I understand, will stand there and do it until people are done.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I saw him with 30, 40 kids at training. I'm like, dang, man, he's going to be here for 2 hours after, training camp, where he can, go with his family or watch film or, hang out with his teammates. But, hey, we're still Super Bowl champs. I'm sorry, usually we're talking about draft, or
this time of year.
Yeah. But all the reports are saying that Godwin's going to get tagged. Hopefully,
I think Godwin's gone, dude. I think he's out, to be honest with you. I think we're going to spend all our money on Sue, Shaq, and Levante David, and Godwin's going to want an equal opportunity, and we're not going to have – he's expendable. We've got a depth in that position that's really deep. I mean, you've got Scotty Miller, who looks golden, and then there's that other kid. I can't ever remember his name, Tucker or something,
Tyler Johnson.
Tyler Johnson, yeah. That guy has got hands. I don't know if you saw that pass that he caught where he just went completely opposite field.
Oh, yeah.
Switched up on a dime. And it was like the Matrix.
Thank God for the tag. If it wasn't for the tag, he'll probably be gone. They're gonna pay Shaq. Godwin's gonna get the tag. He said, I think he came out. He said, he's not gonna be miserable over, between 15 and 19. So tag him this year. Sign Shaq. He'll do what Shaq did, and then when the salary cap goes back up, you can restructure his contract.
Yeah, they've got plenty of room. But I just don't know if we need another wide receiver. That's the point. If anybody's going to be somebody they'll let walk to the gate, I think Godwin's the guy they're going to do it. And he's been rumored to want to go to a place like Carolina where he can be the number 1 receiver and be the show. So
yeah, but his blocking is just even though he had a couple games where he was but his blocking alone is worth it.
Well, we'll see. At least we're not talking about the top 5 draft pick again. I don't even know who do you talk about at 32. What do you need to fill in at 32, which is basically first pick of the second round. That's
lineman.
Yeah, lineman. I agree with that.
If Fournette leaves, maybe Najee Harris, or maybe trade out of the first round and get maybe a guy like Travis Etienne or another edge rusher, or the defensive tackle from Alabama, Barmore, pair him with Vita. That'll be monster. Because Sue probably, if he signs another 1-year deal, JBP.
I don't think Sue will be back. I don't think so.
Oh, he already said he wants to be, Ashley.
They all said they want to. I know. It's just like I think 1 or 2 of them is going to have to go just cap wise. Like I don't see them all coming back.
Sue will take a friendly deal, maybe 4 or 5 million. He's not gonna take an $8 million deal. He's gonna have to shrink that by at least a couple million.
Yeah, I don't know.
Interesting to see.
I think they're going to keep the defense together though. I think the key to this team in the Super Bowl wasn't whether Tom Brady could beat the Kansas City Chiefs defense. It was whether our defense could stop
the Chiefs offense.
Mahomes. And we did. And that was when at the beginning of the year, I knew we had a good secondary, but I didn't think they were that good. And
Winfield
they just shut people down.
Yeah.
Winfield.
I was hoping a guy like Patrick Peterson would come over, because he has ties with the Arians. But I don't know. I mean, we have, I think, Bonnie was, struggling, and then he had 3 picks in a row. I'm like, man, this guy, might turn into a good corner. And Carlton is Carlton. Dean is
Yeah.
Dean. Dean is,
Yeah, Carlton's amazing.
Yeah,
He's
I
so
don't
much
like
fun to
Dean so
watch.
much. Dean gets a penalty at the most. He's become the Donovan Smith of the secondary. Seems like he'll get a penalty when
he's
he
like
just don't
he
need it.
reminds me of Aqib Talib. Aqib Talib got a lot of penalties for us, but he was a good corner. He would do good in
Yeah.
coverage, get some picks.
He just get his head in the game and start doing stupid stuff. That was probably what
Yeah.
I see out of Dean. I'm scared of that one location on the secondary because you never know what you're going to get out of that. He can do some really, really good stuff, and then he does some real stupid things.
What do you think?
But
Where do you guys think Deshaun Watson's gonna end up? He's not staying in Houston, right?
No, he's not going to be in Houston.
Carolina or the 49ers.
How about Denver?
Denver would have
Denver?
to give up quite a bit.
I don't know enough about Denver, but I
3
think
first-round picks and Justin Simmons, or they probably want a stopgap quarterback. Maybe give up Drew Lock or
I
Justin
thought they were
Simmons.
good on Drew Lock for now. I thought that was Elway's boy. I don't know. I don't keep up with him enough.
No.
But I've heard Deshaun Watson going to Carolina and Bridgewater leaving to go somewhere, and they really haven't talked about where Bridgewater's going to land. But I think Bridgewater would look good in New England.
He's not going to the Saints. The Saints are in cap.
They're murdered. They're $70 million over.
Yeah,
And that's after Drew Brees took a discount.
If the Saints can sign everybody, then I'm sure the Bucs can work something out. They have Greenberg, who is a wizard with contracts and stuff like that. And maybe Brady. I think Evans maybe adds another year because I think he has this coming year and next year. Maybe Brady adds another year to help out the cap. Maybe Donovan Smith restructures.
Donovan Smith has to restructure. This was his last year, so
he did really good in the playoffs.
He turned out after about the 7th game. He started playing like he's supposed to, and that's a testament to Bruce Arians because nobody could get him to do anything correctly between Dirk Cutter and that episode. But when he got to the point where he had all these coaches that Arians put in, the 150,000 coaches he's got on staff now, they identified a problem and they fixed it. And by the end of the year, he was playing Pro Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
But where was he the last 4 years? He's kind of got that Doug Martin thing going. He contract year and he starts playing like an all-star. And then what happens next year when you sign him again? You go back to being a bucket and a foot in a paint bucket.
Maybe a guy drops. Maybe you can never have too many offensive linemen.
No, you need to. Yeah, we need to. Ashley was right. We need to work on depth on the offensive line. We don't have anybody after the center. If Jensen goes down, if he ends up in a pile up like Vita Vea did, tweaks an ankle, we got no center. And
Stinney can play center, right?
Who?
Aaron Stinney can play center, right? He's a swing guy. He can play tackle and guard and center.
Yeah, he might be, but I don't know if he's a starter.
Or Joe Haig.
Haig, he could be too. I don't know. I just know that that's the weak spot on the front line because we've got those two players that you're talking about can fit in from tackle to guard on both sides. And Kappa
can play center, and I'm sure all those guys are swing guys.
But wouldn't you rather have somebody like a Tristan Wirth in training behind an old Jensen to take his place if there was an injury, rather than risking it on these guys that are 3-in-1 oil guys that can fit anywhere? If they can fit anywhere, why don't they fit somewhere? That's the question, right?
Yeah.
So, if they're not going to be starters, then there's something missing. But that's what I would do, and I've said that for 3 years. We need to draft the trenches. We need to draft defense and offensive line because we don't. And when you've got a 32nd pick, and then I think we got a couple in the 2nd round, I think that's what they should target. I think they should go for the beef.
Or maybe trade out of the 1st and get an extra 2nd round pick, maybe a 3rd or 4th.
Oh, well, I don't know who's going to be around at 32nd that won't be around in the second round for the guys that are coming behind you.
Yeah.
That it's a weird thing. We've not had this problem in a long, long time. I mean, 18 years since we
Yeah.
had a roster that people wanted to come join.
Yep.
So
Tom Brady. Oh, that happened. That's Tom Brady effect for you, Matt.
it is, and we hope that he doesn't ever get hurt because there's nothing behind him.
Yeah. Blaine Gabbert. But I don't know.
No, I've gotten into many arguments about this. I don't think Blaine Gabbert is much. I think if we were going to throw a first round draft, 32 position draft pick, and there's all these quarterbacks in the lottery, we might as well draft one of them because somebody's going to have to learn what Brady knows so they can take his place. He's not getting younger. And sooner or later, it may be another 5 years, but sooner or later, he's going to do what every old man does, and he's going to get bruised, and he won't come back, and he won't have the ability to play. And I know he's a unique specimen, but this is why Belichick let him go. The odds are he's going to get worse rather than better. And he got better here because of the staff, the training staff, the players, the roster, and the coaches all were better here than anything he ever had in New England in one stop. So he's the kind of guy that takes advantage of the tools that he's given, not like Winston, where he's given everything and he can't make it work. And that's why he did so well here. I don't think that you'd have seen Tom Brady come out this well if he had gone where Bridgewater is into Carolina. He doesn't have the roster. He might have done better than Bridgewater. He might have got him in as a wild card like he did with us, but I don't think he had all the tools in the tool belt to work with to get to a Super Bowl. And I think he knew that when he came here, that everything was in line. The offense was just busting with talent, and the defense was coming around. Yep. And our defense was coming up at the end of last year. It was coming up strong. And all of that perfect storm came together, and Brady got here. And I'm glad it happened. I'm glad that it happened. But I still think we're being unrealistic if we don't try to do something to make sure that if he goes down even for a week with a twisted ankle, that we've got somebody that isn't going to get an automatic loss. And I don't think Blaine Gabbert's the answer. I don't think he's any better than Fitzgerald is down in Miami.
You mean Fitzpatrick?
Fitzpatrick, yeah. The Fitz, whatever. The Fitz magic.
Yeah. Yep, the beard. Yep.
That's how I look at it.
I thought we would have kept Josh Rosen. Maybe
I did
him
too.
Brady.
I thought we were going to keep him, put him on the practice squad, let him learn a little bit, hide him back there for nobody to come and get him, and then work him in. And they let him go the first opportunity that came up. He got signed out, and so I don't know. Maybe he was our Garoppolo. Maybe that was the guy that was supposed to be the new up and comer. But wherever he ended up, I don't remember where they signed him to, but he got on another roster.
He's on the Niners. He's in San Fran.
Well, they need help. I think Jimmy G's out of there. So I don't know. I don't know if Josh Rosen is good enough to start right now because he's had so many different ways to different offensive coordinators and what have you. But that's just me. I don't know. I thought we were going to keep him in a diamond in the rough and work him up. But didn't work out that way. So now they're going to get another quarterback in Miami, so they say. So does that mean they're not happy with Tua? Does Tua come available?
He played like 7 or 8 games. You got to give him at least a full season, right?
You would think, but they're talking about drafting a quarterback. So why would you do that?
They have like the 3rd and 13th pick. I saw them draft Devontae Smith and Najee Harris. That would help out with Tua a lot.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on in Miami. I don't keep up with them enough, but from what I hear off of Bleacher Report every so often, it's just odd the way they do things. Fitzpatrick was doing good, and they just dropped him. They just said, "No, you go sit down," and he was winning games. So there's no loyalty to the position there, apparently. And then they put in Tua, and he did okay, I suppose, but he would have done better to sit out for the remainder of the year. Let Fitzmagic do its thing, either prosper or burn out, whichever it always does.
Yeah.
And then let him come back. But that is
Yeah,
how they did.
You don't draft. I think he was a 5th overall pick. You don't draft a guy that high to set him the whole year.
Well, you used to. Aaron Rodgers sat for 4 years.
Yeah.
So that was I go with the old school method of doing things. Bradshaw came in way back in the 60s after 2 years of being in the Navy, after being he was a Heisman Trophy winner. Then he had to go to Vietnam, and then he got into the league, and they put him in there, and he stunk it up for a year. And then the next year, he started doing better, and they got to be the mini dynasty that they were. Aikman was the same way. They brought him in, dropped him in right on top, and he sucked wind. And Peyton Manning did the same thing in Indianapolis for 2 years. I thought he was a bust. So the way they used to do it is they would draft you. You sat down on the bench, even if you were a number 1 draft pick. You sat down for 3 or 4 years, and then they brought you in after you've had your training classes, basically, from the guy in front of you. And the league doesn't do that anymore because the offense is pretty much match college now. It's not like it used to be. The colleges are doing more RPO, and the NFL is doing RPO, so it's working into a situation where you should just come in and plug in and play. And I don't think it works for everybody. It just doesn't. So that's just
where in Oklahoma City do you live, Matt?
I'm in the suburbs in a town called McLeod, like the old TV show. And 27 miles east of Tinker Air Force Base. So
okay. So you were in the armed forces?
No, I was in the Air Force for a minute. Then they let me go because I'm colorblind. But I signed up for a contract and they couldn't give it to me because they tested my eyes after I signed the contract and found out I had color problems. But nobody knew it until they did that test. I had no idea. Mm-hmm. So I was in there for about just under a year. But I'm here because this is where my kids are. That's the nuts and bolts of it. My kids are here, and I'm going to stick around until they go to college or whatever, and then I'll figure out what to do from there. But I was born and raised in Tampa, in Brandon, back in the old days, before the Brandon Mall, before the Crosstown, Leroy Selman Road, whatever they call it now.
Yeah. Parkway? Is it the Leroy Selman Parkway, right?
Something like that.
Yep.
Yeah. It was the
down
Crosstown.
by Del Mabry in Tampa.
Do what?
Is it down by Del Mabry Park in Tampa, right? South Tampa? Downtown?
The Causeway?
Yeah.
It goes from Brandon through downtown. I don't know where it ends up. It's been a long time since I've gone on the thing. But it goes all the way across from Brandon to Tampa proper, and then on the other side of Tampa, like Ybor City, Tampa downtown, and maybe it stops before the Gandy Bridge. I'm not sure. I haven't been home in 30 years, so don't know for anymore.
When was the last time you've been to Florida, Matt?
Last time I was there was before Raymond James was built. I went to the Sombrero. And,
oh yeah, I heard about that.
That was what we did. I never paid more than $8 for a ticket, and I sat on the 40-yard line about 30 rows up, between 12 and 30 rows up, every game I ever went to. Because we sucked so bad, I could see any game I wanted to.
Oh, and was that the game? Was that the year that we lost like 27 games in a row or something like that?
No, well, that was in 76, 77, 78.
That was like what,
78
50 years ago or something like that? 44?
How much?
40, I'm saying 76.
Yeah, we came in the league in 76, 77. We didn't win a game until the last week or 2 weeks of the second season we were there. So that would be 78, 77, 78. And we beat the New Orleans Saints, and then we beat the Cardinals, I believe it was. And then in the following year, 78 and 79 or 79 and 80, I forget which, we went to the playoffs with because after the strike, they had a strike, shorted season.
Yeah.
we ended up with a better record just off the short season. We ended up playing Dallas and the Rams, I think it was. We lost to the Rams. And I was in Kentucky at that time. So that was an 80 to 82, 83. In 84 or 5, I was back, and then I left again. So I never came back after that.
You got your Super Bowl shirt and hat, Matt, or not yet?
Dude, I bought some stuff off of NFL, and I didn't get the one you got. I don't like all that loud champion thing on your head. It's just me. I'm a little more old-fashioned. So I bought this one. It's the same thing. It says Super Bowl champions 2020, but it's coming from China. And yesterday it left Las Vegas. After I bought it the day after the game.
China.
Yeah. And NFL has a contract. I guess they don't have the stock. It was a $28 hat. It wasn't expensive. But I got a notice in the email today, I think it was, that it finally got to Vegas, and they moved it from Vegas out to be distributed, which means it'll go to Texas, and then it'll come up here, and I'm supposed to get it by Friday.
Yeah.
But it's not like I went to some off-the-cuff place and just bought a hat because it said Tampa Bay on it. I bought it from NFL.com, and I got this nonsense going on. Kind of hacks me off a little bit.
From Fanatics, they have all their stuff from Jacksonville, so I ordered on a Monday, and I got my hat and shirt on Friday, and then I got my mask on Saturday.
Really?
So, yeah.
Well, I started to buy some stuff off Fanatics, but I only had a limited amount of money I wanted to spend on it. I still got Mike Allstott's jersey from back when they won the last Super Bowl. I've got a couple of T-shirts that say the last Super Bowl on it. And you stop thinking about that. Those are 18-year-old T-shirts, and they look like the one you're wearing. They're still in great shape. So I can't wear them anywhere because nobody likes the Bucs. But it's getting better.
So there's no Bucs fans in OKC besides you?
They don't have like a local Bucs club or anything. I did notice this year over the season, after mid-season, and so I started seeing people wearing Buccaneers hats and things around town at the different Buffalo Wild Wings and that kind of stuff, which you didn't see before. And this is what happened in 2002. People started wearing Buccaneer gear all the way out in Vegas. They had the pirate flag was a gangster sign back in 2002. And they would use it as part of the gang roundup when they were looking at people, the Crips and the Bloods and all that.
Yep.
If they had Buccaneer gear, they'd pull them over, and they had Raider gear, they'd pull them over. It was all part of the big picture out there. But that stopped after, we've been so bad for so many years. After Josh Freeman. Josh Freeman. He crashed and burned. After that, the Bucs haven't really been anything.
Yeah, I think they failed him, and he didn't really fail them. It was Shiano and
Adderall didn't help. Adderall and roofies and whatever else he was doing didn't help him.
Roofies.
I didn't hear it. He was doing nightclub drugs and not doing football. That's what got him in trouble. Because when he left Tampa, if he was that good, which a lot of people thought, he should get picked up by another team. And every team he ever went to, he didn't perform as well as he did in Tampa, which wasn't great after that first year. And then he went to Canada and he failed. So,
he went to the CFL and played for.
I don't remember who it was, but he didn't do well in Canada, and that just tells you that his skill level had diminished, and he did it to himself.
It's like Johnny Manziel playing in some type of.
He's in like some community organized football league. What the hell is that all about? That's like me and you getting together and saying, let's get 30 guys together and we'll cut up 2 teams out of it and play a game or 2. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And he sucked at that. So, and Manziel was somebody that I followed because I was living here then, and he was big news down in Texas. Him and Mike Evans both were on the air every weekend. You'd see him on Saturday, whether you wanted to or not. And they had something going there, but Manziel owes all of his accolades to Mike Evans. Mike Evans owes all his accolades to his ability to do his job. And that's the
Yep.
difference between the two guys. Manziel was a spoiled brat too. So, I mean, his daddy was a millionaire. He didn't have to ever worry about anything. And it showed when he got out he wasn't prepared for life when he got out into the real world.
Yeah.
So
Sorry, I'm still pretty new to this. I'm just trying something out. But yeah, back to what you were saying.
I don't remember. I was trashing Johnny Manziel.
Oh yeah. You were talking about Manziel and Evans, and Evans was the show and stuff like that.
Yep, Evans was the guy who made Manziel who he was. That's true. Yeah. And we got the good end of that in Tampa. If we'd have got Johnny Manziel picked up here, guy made. Do you remember Kerry Collins?
He played for the New York Giants, correct?
Yeah, he did for a while, and he played for Jacksonville, I think it was.
Yep.
He was an alcoholic, and he came into the league, and he was supposed to be really, really good. But when he came in the league, he tried to quit drinking, and he couldn't, and it showed. And then he got dumped for a while, and he took the time to get off the booze, and he actually turned into a decent player. He never reached the level that he should have, but he got a hell of a lot closer than Johnny Manziel because he recognized his problem and he looked for help, and the NFL helped him out, and he got back in the league and he did something. So they're very similar stories with completely different endings is what I'm getting at. They both had similar issues. Yeah. And there's a difference between somebody who wants to help themselves to get better and somebody who thinks the world owes them something. And that's the personality types that you're dealing with.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I was going to look up on here about where the Bucs are expected to go on 32nd pick, just out of fun on Google. Buccaneers.
Edge rusher, maybe maybe the D tackle from Alabama, Christian Barmore, or a running back. We could do anything. Just have to see how the board falls.
Isn't it strange to be in a situation where you really don't care? I mean, that's how I feel about it. We don't need anybody. we don't have a position where we're going, oh God, we got to fill that because this is terrible. It's a weak spot. It's more of a situation where we're in a luxury where we can say we can improve this position and take that person rather than worrying about having to get the right guy. And it's crazy.
Are you what do you do for a living, Matt?
I don't work anymore. I'm an old man.
Oh, you're retired.
I play guitar for fun.
Oh, okay.
So
I always wanted to learn how to play guitar, but I heard I think I tried once and I didn't do too good. I try to just mess around and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, if you don't put your head into it, then you're not going to go very far. But I started playing in July because of COVID. I bought a guitar. I didn't have anything else to do with my money, so I decided.
What do guitars usually run? $300-400?
You can get a good Squire, which is a Fender.
Yeah.
For they're $450 now. They went up after the first of the year. It's called a Classic Vibe, and they make them in a 50s model, 60 model, or a 70s model. Mm-hmm. And those are made in China, so they're cheaper. But the quality of the guitar is almost as good as what you're getting when you spend $800 on a Fender player, which is made in Mexico, which is a Fender entry-level Stratocaster or Telecaster or whatever. So having done all that research, that's what I bought, a Classic Vibe 50s Stratocaster. And then I did some research and figured out how I could punch it up and make it into a $1,200 or $1,600 guitar for a couple of $100. And I changed out some parts. But they have this thing called Fender Play, which is online learning. And it's something you just have to say, I'm going to do this for 20 minutes a night. And
Sorry, I don't know. I lost you for a second. I think you froze for a second.
did I? Well, that's Oklahoma for you.
I don't know. It said something about the connection, but anything else you want to add?
To what? About buying a guitar or football?
No, just anything, just football.
I'm still looking on here. It said something about an edge rusher is what they were talking about.
Phillips from Miami or UCLA. I'm trying to think of the guy. Trying to think of his name.
Joe Tyron from Washington. You ever heard of him?
No.
He's supposed to be an edge rusher.
Yeah.
And Jalen Phillips out of Miami. You got to know him. He's local.
Yeah. I'm a Gator fan, so.
I'm sorry. I grew up in Florida State.
Oh, no. Oh, come on.
Whole family's from Florida State. If you go up into Tallahassee and look in the phone book for Colson, you'll find 50 of them all around the 50, 60-mile area.
Jesus Christ.
We're some flat landing crackers, boy.
Wait, so you got kids that went to Florida State?
No, my kids haven't graduated high school yet.
My
mom graduated.
I visited Florida State. They have a nice campus.
Yeah, I've been to the campus several times. My mom graduated there. She got 4 degrees out of there. My dad got 2.
Nice.
I didn't bother. I didn't go to college. I went to online college, but
not yet. I might. I don't know. I graduated high school in 2014, so maybe in the fall, maybe when things go back to normal.
Yeah, I would highly advise you at least get a 2-year degree. The same thing I tell my kids.
Yeah,
college isn't for everybody, but you need to have at least a trade so you can go out and make a living.
Yeah, I thought about that too, but we'll see what happens.
Got to do something. You can do what I did. I farted around until I was 26 years old. And spent a lot of time at the beach, a lot of time at the Skyway Bridge catching fish, a lot of time doing stuff that you can't talk about at church. But, when I finally figured it all out, I ended up working for AT&T and Verizon in telecom. So once I figured out what I like to do, I got good at it. But it took me forever to get off the schneid and quit playing. And that is something that I would highly recommend not doing, because you can spend an awful lot of money doing nothing with your life. Or you can bite the bullet, find something you like, and then do nothing with it for a while.
Yep.
You keep flipping on and off. Are you done?
No, I was just messing around with it. But I got some things to do. Okay. You probably want to, do something or something like that.
Well, Rick's got a show coming on Friday night.
I think it's tonight at 9:00. Jacob's got a show right now. From
Jacob's
7 to 8.
got the Hard Knocks or whatever it is. The pro.
Yeah, Johnny Dean. I was gonna invite Johnny on here, but
he's gonna do Bucs Report stuff before he'll do anything else. And okay, but he's a big power player with Bucs Report. They get a lot of eyeballs from stuff he does. He shares everything 100 million ways to 40,000 different sites and that kind of thing. I'm not that good at it. I don't care. When they talk about Facebook, I'm like, it's not something.
Yeah. Do you have Twitter?
I don't do Twitter. I started to at one point, and then I got into it, and then I just dumped it. It got to be ridiculous. I don't like the way social media works, in the way that it's my way or just get out of my face kind of thing. That isn't the way that I deal with people. And that's a generational issue. My kids don't care. They get on Reddit and they get on other stuff and they read things and don't agree, disagree, whatever. But I had a very good friend of mine when Hillary lost to Trump. That I had known for many, many years. And we were on opposite sides of the fence of that. And he canceled me. And I just never wanted to go back and get involved with that again. Because when you're my age, you don't meet a whole lot of people all the time. You certainly don't have time for building up a relationship that can take 10 years. Yeah. And then for somebody to be on social media, be so twisted up in that crap that after 10 years of friendship, they just flip a switch. It's stupid, but that's the world we're living in. So I don't pursue YouTube. I don't pursue a lot of Facebook contact there. That kind of thing is just not for me. I read a lot of it, but I don't join a lot of groups and that kind of stuff. It's kind of like when you asked me to come on here. I do it with Rick because I like Rick, but I don't do it with Peter anymore. I was the first caller on Peter Blake's show when he started taking phone calls. And the same thing with Rick. I was the first caller on that show. And Rick and I agree more often than we disagree. Me and Peter likes to debate. And so he'll sometimes aggravate people. And it's good. I like the guy. I've gotten to know him pretty well. But if I'm going to go online, I'm going to do it on Rick's show. That's just my choice. Because I think we're about the same age, and believe it or not, there's an awful lot we have in common. A lot of we don't, but the dude and I don't get along on Facebook. He canceled me once.
The dude, is that Johnny Dean?
The dude? No, the dude is the owner of Bucs Report.
Oh, really?
Keith Larson.
What's his name?
Keith Larson.
Oh, okay.
He goes by the dude on the air because he doesn't want you to know who he is, but that's who he is.
Oh, okay.
So I was I met him on a golf game. You know, those things where you join your friends or you join a guild or whatever, so you get more chances. Yeah. And he happened to be running a team that I just arbitrarily picked up on. And we ended up friends on Facebook for a while, and then we don't see things the same way, and that's cool. But we just don't agree. Now on here, we do fine. It's sports. We get along great. You start talking about anything else, and it's like, oh,
does the dude have a Facebook page? Do you know?
I don't know. Never asked him. I think his Facebook page is Bucs Report, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Keith Larson has a Facebook, which is the same guy, but I don't know if he has one by the dude. You know, a lot of people have that. Keith lives, according to his profile, he's up in Tallahassee.
Tallahassee.
So he's a Florida State guy, and he was a Jameis fan for a year or two, and then he quit.
Have you ever been out of the country?
I've been to Mexico, but I have not gone into Europe or anywhere like that.
No, Europe. Yeah, I got family in Spain.
In Spain?
Yeah. I'm hoping to go back in July, but you never know.
Are they letting people fly now?
Not Americans. I don't think. Not in the United States. I don't know when. Hopefully in the summer.
Yeah, this is all gonna be over with by the end of the summer because of the fact that the vaccines are out, and people are going to start getting them, and people have already stopped getting COVID.
200 million by the end of July or something like that. That's what Biden said. By 160.
He's bringing numbers out of his butt. The point is, the fact is, the COVID this last 2 weeks has dropped substantially in new cases.
40%, and then deaths down like 44%.
Yeah, that is a huge chunk, and it's not because of the vaccines. It's because people are not catching it like they were. And all of this stuff.
There's like a, I don't know, there's like a code name for it now. It's like a B0107.
There's a South African virus, and there's another virus they're spawns that came out of COVID, but that's just the virus mutating, and that's what viruses do. But where I live here, people don't wear masks. We don't have a COVID issue.
There's no mandates.
There is, but nobody enforces them. The store
when you go to the store,
there's a sign at the door that says masks are required. You go in the store, nobody's wearing them. I go to the music store I go to for my guitars and whatnot. They have the sign on the front door. It's a city mandate, so they have to have it posted. Nobody in that store has caught COVID, and nobody wears a mask. The same thing with the hairdresser my kids go to. They don't wear masks in a hairdressing salon where they're close together. and
Yeah.
there's no issues with that. It's the reason is because Oklahoma doesn't have the influx of out-of-state traffic. And
like
so
Florida, New York, California.
New York, California, Atlanta, all these hubs, Chicago, Dallas, Houston, they got people coming in from everywhere in the world. And so they got hit with it. But the rural America, the center of the world, the flyover America that everybody talks about, there's nothing going on here. South Dakota never once closed a store, didn't close anything. And they have had less COVID than any other state in the country. Florida opened up the whole world, and they're at the same level of infection as they are in California. And California's locked down, tired, and drunk. So what's the
I was
difference?
on furlough for almost 2.5 months. So
where'd you go to?
I work at Panera.
Panera Bread Company?
Yeah, Panera Bread, yeah.
Okay. They shut down your store?
Inside, yeah. From like March 17th, and I came back like May 27th.
But
so
you're working now.
Yeah, I've been back since May.
Yeah,
end of May.
Florida is the only state out of the big ones that's got a lot of traffic and whatnot where they're actually making money off people. They're not having to go to the government with their hand out. My kids haven't missed a day of school, not one. When they have a COVID incident with somebody's close contact or whatever, they give them a laptop and send them home. But as soon as that's cleared up, they go right back to class again. We haven't had a teacher walk out. We haven't had a $1 billion worth of infrastructure put in the school systems around here to try to get them safe. They go to school. And so my world that I live in versus what you hear about on the news, on the big Fox and CNN and all that, completely different universes from the two. And there's going to come a point where there's an awful lot of people who already have COVID that don't know it, that had it and let it go or got over it. There's an awful lot of people who had COVID and got through it and they don't get reinfected. And there's an awful lot of people getting vaccinated. I saw a report the other day where a guy said we were going to be, by the end of April, we're going to have herd immunity with or without the vaccine.
I heard by June. I heard by the end of summer.
So that's why they want to get this COVID bill passed so quick, because in a couple of weeks it won't matter. And so they're going to get to a point where everybody's going back to work and everybody's slowly getting their vaccines put in. And now they've released a third vaccine, the one that doesn't require sub-zero temperatures, I think was bumped up today. Those
Johnson
Johnson.
Yeah,
that one's being produced and it's being manufactured at a high rate of speed right now.
I think they want 24 million by the end of next month.
Well, they had 100 million on order from Trump, and they ordered another 100 million or something like that. But they have to have the manufacturing ability to do it, and they've just started opening up new manufacturing processes. And Johnson & Johnson throwing their name in the hat. That's the ones that come out to areas where I live in, where there's more cows than there are people. They can't have that deep freeze and then 21 days and then come back and get a second shot. They need to have a single shot option. And I think that's what they're going to give out here.
Yep.
But
have you got it yet?
No. My ex-wife lives a block down the street. She works for AT&T in a retail store. She has not missed a day. She was a first-line worker. She's had that store has been open every day since the whole thing began. And AT&T has a policy: if somebody in the store gets a close contact, they close the whole damn store down for 2 weeks. That store has never missed a day. Damn. But if you go to Bentonville, Arkansas, where Walmart is, the stores that are in that market in Fayetteville and University of Arkansas area, those AT&T stores have been shut down completely for a month and a half at a time because of it. And that's because of the traffic. Walmart brings in billions of people. And, well, not billions, but you get the idea. The airport's working. And that causes a population problem.
Yeah.
But here, Shawnee is one of the larger cities that's not Oklahoma City around here. Shawnee's 11 miles away. And every place in there, from Lowe's to your local grocery store, has a sign on the door that says, got to wear a mask. You walk inside and nobody's wearing a mask. And nobody's dying. Well, I'm not going to say that, but we don't have the high percentage of infection rate that they do in other places.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it can be bad somewhere, and it can be not as bad. It just varies.
And I would think Tampa and Lakeland. I guess Lakeland's kind of busy. It used to be.
Yeah.
Ocala, Orlando, Daytona Beach.
I'm like
anywhere
45
up on the
minutes.
East
I'm
Coast.
like 45 minutes from Ray J.
Yeah, you're on the trip to the inland from Raymond James. I went through Lakeland a lot. They might still have warrants out for me. I don't know.
Wait, what?
Dude, I was a wild child in the 80s. I did some stupid shit. So, yeah, I know Lakeland pretty good. They have a really good art museum there, too, which a lot of people don't know about. Ray Kennedy doesn't like Lakeland. He gives you a hard time all the time.
Why?
He thinks rednecks live in Lakeland.
Oh, well, I went to Jenkins. George Jenkins High School, 548.
Yeah,
a lot of rednecks went there.
Well,
especially they had like what do you call that? They had a lot of farming and cows. So they had a lot of
Yeah, there's more cattle in Florida than there is in Texas. Did you know that?
I think they're about the same, right? Or maybe Florida's
the number
more.
one beef. Well, this was several years ago, but there was a survey done or an announcement done out of agricultural somebody. Florida had more beef production than Texas, and I know you've moved in a lot of people since then, but still, I would think that that's still true because there's an awful lot of Pasco farmland out there that's being used for dairy and pigs and whatnot. But I didn't realize that until they made that announcement. Then I got to thinking about it because my first wife's father worked in the food processing business. He was an engineer that that went in and built systems for different processes, whatever it was.
Yeah.
He figured out how to make an igloo. The igloo ice cream that doesn't have a stick. It's just a square.
Yeah. Yep.
There's a process to that where that ice cream has to maintain a certain temperature from the beginning to the end, and then it goes into a freezer, and it can't vary more than like 3 degrees. And he put that whole thing together, which amazing. And he took me with him to Kraft or somebody where they make orange juice. And if you knew how they made orange juice, you'd never drink it. It's a disgusting process, man.
Well, in Spain at a hotel, they have freshly squeezed orange juice. Oh, it's so good. And they had they put probably come back every hour. Put a couple oranges. So they don't have to keep coming back. But it's really good. It's a buffet.
There used to be out there near your part of the world. There used to be a place called Daldon, which was an orange juice place, and they had fruit stands on the side of the road, and you could buy like a quart at a time in a little cube. And I would make stops for that all the time. Hot boiled peanuts and a quart of Daldon orange juice. There's not a better orange juice in the world. It's just good stuff, man. But
Tropicana is pretty good. Simply Orange is pretty good. Tropicana.
Florida's Best used to be pretty good too. That's done by a conglomerate of orange growers down in Florida.
Yeah.
But
yeah, hopefully the draft. We still got the draft is April 29th, so we got almost 2 months for that. So don't have to worry
they're
about
going to start talking about it soon on Sports Report too, because there's nothing else going on. You don't have a combine this year. All the players are going to do pro days, which is going to be weird because the scouts have to go to every damn college that they're interested in.
They're not. Is that official? They're not doing a combine this year?
They're not doing a combine.
No.
Can you imagine if you were like Alabama and you've got like 12 prospective players coming off your roster and they got to share a pro day? Or are they going to do a pro day weekend? How much time are they going to take up trying to go through just the SEC to try to get the number one draft picks in front of a scout? How can you do that in every division?
Can't they do like a distant combine or something like that?
My understanding is they're going to do pro days on campus.
Yeah.
Now, they may do them like a Zoom, but And I think they're going to interview. You know, they do the combine interview where they ask you a bunch of crazy correct questions to see how you're going to answer.
Yeah.
They're going to do those by Zoom. But the draft has 100 and some odd people that get picked. That means that there's another 100 or so that don't get picked that are all on a roster for the scouts to see. So how are they going to be able to do that? I don't know how they're going to be able to have the time, but we'll see. The NFL's managed to keep the whole season together, and Rick said they're going to have 17 games next year. So we're going to have one less preseason.
And they would have us facing the Colts as a 17th game.
Just the Colts?
Yep. Well, as a 17th game.
Oh, you mean the last week of the season?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that would be good. That just means that they're going to have one less preseason game, or are they going to truncated the playoffs together? Have they said how they're going to do that? Are they taking away from the front end or the back end?
Are they going to have is it going to be the 6 teams again, or is it going to be the extra playoff spot?
I don't know. I think that the way they did the playoffs this year, they should keep that. I liked it. And they made a lot of money on that weekend, the wild card weekend, when they had the 4 games, 2 and 2.
Yep.
I watched every minute of those. That'd be interesting to know. I don't know if they've gone to the competition committee and whatever that they do to figure all that stuff out. But I think they were pending on having a 17th game this year, and I think they decided they're going to go ahead and do that. But the playoff structures, when they start counting the beans, that wild card weekend made some money, and it made a lot of eyeballs.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard to say. I guess I got to read up on that a little bit more.
Yeah.
But the combine's not being done is going to make the draft is going to be kind of different because you're not going to have all the information you normally have.
Where's the draft? The draft is in Vegas this year, right?
I think so. Let's see. I'll look it up.
Yeah, my computer's being I don't know what's going on.
Well, it's like mine. It's just old.
No, this is only 4. Yeah, I don't know. It's like glitching. It won't let me. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Short. Microsoft Edge changed Cleveland. Oh. Yeah. Okay.
So that's strange. But I guess it makes sense. I guess they're going to start moving it around. How about that? Get to spend a week in Cleveland. How exciting could that possibly be?
Are you gonna go?
No, hell no. I don't do that. I do want to go to Canton one day, and I probably will as a part of my bucket list. But I haven't been there yet. And that's something I want to do. I want to go to Cooperstown, and I want to go to Canton. They had back in the old days or outside of Orlando, they had a place called Boardwalk and Baseball. Mm-hmm. That was a amusement park that had a wooden roller coaster from Coney Island or something. But the draw was it was based around baseball. So the Kansas City Royals were the farm team that went and played there in the spring. And they had a miniature Hall of Fame there, which was cool as hell. Because for people that don't get to Ohio, that's or to Cooperstown, it was a kind of unique opportunity to see some stuff. And I saw Bo Jackson play there once in the spring game. And it was kind of cool. But I want to go to the Hall of Fames for both the NFL and Major League Baseball.
What's going on with this?
At some point. I think when my kids get a little bit older, they got to go another 2 years or so. Then we're going to start knocking some stuff off.
Okay. Wait, hey Matt, what kind of computer do you have?
I use an iPad.
Oh, using an iPad. Okay, so hold on.
I built.
Wait a minute.
The one I have that's a PC. I built about 4 years ago.
See,
and it needs,
I can't turn
your mic just went goof.
Oh, sorry,
no. Your mic's messed up.
Wait, what
I don't know. Sounds like it's off or covered or something. It's still the same way. Something happened. It switched. It's not off. It's just that it doesn't sound like it's working. If that makes any sense. No, it's no different. No, it's like you're 5 miles away from it. I didn't understand you.
Is there
An echo? No. It just sounds like you're talking from the other room. It happened when you were jostling things around. I hear you, but it's no better.
Is it still staticky?
Yeah.
That's what Ashley was saying. Okay, hold on 1 second.
Do you have a microphone or is it built in?
It's built in. Hold on.
That's nothing. Now I got nothing.
You can hear me?
Now I hear you. But I got an echo on my side.
How about now?
I heard you.
Echo? Yeah.
Nope, the echo's gone. I
Okay.
don't hear an echo anymore.
No.
No, it seems to be working.
Yeah. Matt, can you hear me?
Yep. That's better.
Okay.
I don't know what you did. Kind of fixed it.
I just yep, just my headphones. Bluetooth earpiece. Yeah, anything else you want to add? We're an hour and 7 minutes in. A little bit more than I want to a little bit more than what I wanted, but are you gonna try to go on Rick's show tonight? I think it starts at 9, right? Or 9:30.
Yeah, he usually sends me a text and tells me he's coming on or whatever. I might not. I don't have much to talk about. I'm not that guy. I'm not like Johnny Dean that sits here and does mock drafts for fun. So this is the time of year where I kind of listen more than I talk. And that's what I was kind of messing with him about yesterday was what are we going to talk about here in a week when Super Bowl's done? And then and that's when
I know they can slap the tag on players today.
Yeah,
would you be surprised if we slap a tag on Godwin before the weekend?
Well, that would tell me something. I mean, if they're going to do that, he'd be the guy, I guess, to do it to. Because Shaq's going to want to get paid. He's already said that. And Sue said he'd come back. So it sounds like he's willing to negotiate. And I think Levante David is the only one I haven't heard a word from one way or the other. But he's definitely not somebody they want to let go. I don't think those two middle linebackers are going to go anywhere for a while.
No.
So
Levante's has what, 2-3 more years left in him, maybe 4. He's 31. He's not.
Is he 31?
Yeah, he's 31.
Did he get here before Evans?
Oh yeah, Levante was 2011, 2012. Evans was 2014. Evans will be 28 in August.
Okay.
Or 29.
I didn't realize that. Well,
yeah, I have I got 2 of Levante David's one is a Panini Contenders I got. They go for like $40. I only paid like $10 for it. And then another one trying to think of it. I only paid like $20 for both of them. But they're from 2011, so they're kind of rare on eBay. There's only a couple of them going. So
yeah, I think he's going to retire a Buccaneer if anything can be done about it. But he's got one more contract.
Shaq will sign a 4-year, 73 or something like that, year deal or something like that.
Good Lord, think of that money. God.
Or 4 years, 78 mil. Yeah. Oh, his if they tagged him, it will be 19.75. I think we can sign him for 18 mil. That's what Vaughn signed for. Vaughn signed the
Godwin, you
tag,
mean?
and then he's
Are you talking
yeah.
Godwin?
Well, Shaq, I think, will sign anywhere from 17, 18 million or something like that. Miles Garrett got 25 mil. So
Ah. Yeah, well, that's what Shaq wants to get his big check. That's what he has said that. He's been upfront about it. I want to get paid. So
4 years, 78 mil will put him at what's that? 78. Maybe maybe front load that. Maybe more maybe 23 1 year, maybe 18 the next or something like that.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
If they do that, then that's out of the way. Those three guys are the ones that everybody's going to have. We're going to have to
And
contend
Gronk.
with.
I think Gronk will take 5 or 6 million or something like that.
I don't think he'll take that much. I think he's making
Really?
more money. If they do what I would do if I was Gronk, because you don't need the money. If he was doing a team friendly deal, I'd have everything at a bare minimum until you got to the playoffs and then incentives. And
like a Super Bowl catches, touchdowns, like what they do with the AB, right?
Right, exactly. And Gronk's got money.
And Fournette, yeah.
Fournette's gone.
Yeah.
Fournette said he's leaving.
How about AB? I wouldn't be mad if AB left. I mean, you got Evans and Godwin, who are two of the best duos. We got Tyler Johnson, who we got still in the 5th round. And we got Scotty Miller, who's like a white AB. I think he's just as fast. He has a good connection. He has a good connection with Brady too. And they lost OJ Howard. OJ Howard is another receiver. He only played 5 games and he tore his Achilles.
Right, and he's still got 1 year left on his rookie deal, so they're going to keep him around.
He's on the option. I think it's like 6 million or something like that.
Yeah, so probably he'll get a physical and they'll give him his option year. And
then that's why I think we keep all 3 tight ends, because Gronk is probably going to retire. He's probably going to play 1 more year, and then if Brady hangs it up, Gronk's going to hang it up.
Yeah,
for
Gronk's
sure.
coming in with Brady and going out with Brady. That I can see that happening.
I think
Brady's got 5 things that he can do that nobody else has done. I think it was 5. One is back-to-back. Hasn't been done since he did it in 2003 and 4, I think it was.
03, 04 Patriots.
Right. Nobody's done it since then, so he could do that again.
I think we got the team to do it. I think Aaron said he wants to keep 5 or 6. Let's say let's say Fournette. Fournette is out.
AP can come right in.
Sue or AB? Who do you? I mean, I don't think we need AB. Unless a team is going to offer him $10 million, but he had a $15 million deal and then he messed up.
Dude, he's not going to go anywhere else. He's not safe somewhere else. So he probably won't get an offer from anyone else. So Tampa will probably be able to get him for league minimum, and then, like you say,
$3 million.
Then they get put the incentive clauses in there, and he'll have a full season to work on them. Because see, that's the thing that Mike Evans does. He doesn't get paid week to week the same way. He gets paid based on the number of catches, number of yards, number of yak, number of this, number of that. He gets bonus checks all the way down the line. Those don't go against the salary cap. So that's how he structures this stuff up. And that's why he gets 1,000 yards a year. Nobody else seems to be able to do that. He manages to get it done every single year. I don't know of any other wide receiver I've heard of that has done that since Randy Moss.
Yep.
So you're gonna have Shaq to get, and Sue said he would come back, so he's going to do a team-friendly deal, probably $4 million.
I wouldn't be mad if AB left. I mean, we have.
He could leave, but he's not going to go anywhere. I mean, they're not going to. If he wants to be a jerk and doesn't get a contract, he's going to be sitting on the sidelines. I don't see him going on another team because he went from the Steelers to the Raiders. The Raiders, he made a complete ass out of himself.
And the Patriots.
And he screwed that
up. His trial got pushed back to December, I heard. Is that true?
I don't know. I don't know why he doesn't just settle that. Just get it done. He's got the cash. Write a check and fix it. Yeah. You're talking about that's the one where the ladies filed sexual harassment charges on him?
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Cut her a check. Do what Michael Jackson did. cut her a damn check and make it go away. That's the answer. And you don't have all that distraction. You don't have all that nonsense. He's got the money. So
Yeah.
that would be the way I fix it. But that's me.
Yeah.
I don't think he's got the I think Tom Brady made him what he was. That's what I'm trying to say. Tom Brady kept him on the straight and narrow. Tom Brady got him on the field. Tom Brady made him a good player again. And he's not going to find that in Carolina or somewhere else.
Yep. Well, I'm gonna head out. I know you probably want to head out too. It's almost 8:30. So
Yeah. I have a tendency to run off the mouth too much.
All right. Nice talking to you, Matt. Have a good night, man.
All right. You have a good evening.